Welcome, everyone. It is Monday night, and that means it's time for another episode of Small Biz Hoghlight. If you don't know, my name is Tiffany Roman, and I am your host. Thank you for those who have taken the time to stop by and check us out this evening. If you are catching us live, thank you. Please let us know in the comments, #live. If you're on replay, thank you for stopping by after the fact. We love people who stop by and check out videos, #replay. Simple as that. And of course, our podcast. If you're listening to our podcast version of this episode, thank you. I hope you enjoy the episode, and please don't hesitate to reach out to let me know how I can make every single episode better for my guests. So, ladies and gentlemen, as always, I will start off by reminding you that I am live with StreamYard. So if you are catching us on Facebook, just a little side note, if you could quickly go to www.streamyard.com/Facebook, then it will allow StreamYard and Facebook to talk to each other, so that if you were to leave a comment for us, and I happen to put it on screen, it will not only show what your comment is, but it will let us know who you are, and maybe even show us your picture for your profile, because I'd like to know who you are, not just what you have to say, of course. So I will put it in the comments so that you can easily click it, but it should be in the description of the video as well, just in case. As always, I start off with my hashtag for the year, and this year it is 2020U. I am selfishly using you all as my buddies in this process, as my accountability partners, as I learn to love myself, accept myself, and have a little more faith in myself this year. I think we all need that every so often, and this just happens to be the year for me. So for those of you who feel the same way, feel free to tag along. I'd love to help you out and be your accountability partner on that as well. But, just spread love, joy, and good vibes everywhere to all your family and friends. Speaking of family and friends, if you haven't heard yet, my invite friends button on Facebook is missing. Yeah, I can't do anything about it. So a huge help in supporting Small Biz Hoghlight and spreading the word about the small businesses that I've had the honor of introducing to all of you so far. I just ask a simple request. Please stop by Small Biz Hoghlight Facebook page, share a video, comment on a post, make a post to your timeline suggesting Small Biz Hoghlight something. That small gesture not only helps support the show, but ultimately gets those people on your timeline a chance to be in front of any one of the people that I've interviewed so far. So you never know who on your timeline is looking for a service, a product, what have you, and one of my people that I've interviewed so far just might have it. So don't deprive them of that and help a small business out. Please. Our Small Business Saturday live virtual event is not till November. I got that. Tons of time, but there's still so much planning to do. And when I tell you that it's going to be bonkers, it's going to be extreme. I don't even know the word for it, guys. I don't. So stay tuned. I promise I will have some updates for you, but I have a special sign-up form for anybody who wants the first dibs on the updates and news information on the event. I will put the link in the comments for you to click on it just in case. Thanks to our sponsor, Text for More. It's so easy to find the links of how to catch us live every Monday night. So all you have to do is text Small Biz to 717-670-6400. It will send you a link to our main hub, is what I call it. And it has a little bit of information on every little thing Small Biz Hoghlight has their hands in, what we do for small businesses, our services and whatnot. But then most importantly, it includes the links to our broadcast. So you can easily click on it and join us on whatever platform you desire. And of course, in this day and age, there just seems to be an app for everything, and Small Biz Hoghlight is no different. Now available on Apple and Google Play, you can absolutely download the Small Biz Hoghlight app to receive push notifications to remind you when we're live, but it also gives you access to every single episode we've streamed so far, every podcast episode, even our TV episodes, and so much more is to come. So stay tuned. All right, so that's enough of my banter about myself and the business. Thank you for enduring that with me tonight. But I am so excited to introduce you to my guests tonight. I have two tonight this time around. I am actually so giddy about this because they're a little, you would think that the way they do business is a little old fashioned. The way I put it in the, description of the video, back in the old days, I always think of like exchanging services for services is kind of a thing that people did, like, in the cowboy movies and stuff like that, or putting something on credit per se, where like they're exchanging stuff, but it's totally possible today. And these two guests of mine have made it to where it's a new way of life, a new stream of income in a way where you can absolutely afford the services you need for your business, the products you need for your business, and you never even have to lift a penny. So I know that sounds confusing, and I probably confused you even more. So I'm going to stop bantering and bring them on because they can explain it a lot better. But of course, we got to get to know them a little bit. So hopefully my computer, there it is. Hello, good evening. How are you?
Good evening. We're doing well.
Doing well, Tiffany.
I am so grateful that you guys had the time tonight to be here with me. Thank you so much. I start out my episode with a very simple question. Sometimes it trips people up, but I love the way people take on different approaches in answering it. So first, let's start with Maria. We'll go ladies first, as always. Maria, who are you?
Well, I have been a business owner all my life, if you will, since I was 25. So that's more than half my life. And so that's always been a passion of mine. I have a great deal of love for people who pursue their own business, and I've always wanted to support that. And as you'll find out what we do, which is we own a barter company. Barter is something that I had done in my past business and enjoyed it very much. So that's where this all kind of came together, wanting to support small business owners and wanting to use something that could help everyone to save cash and get new customers at the same time. In addition to that, I have two children, and Scott and I, he's my fiance. We have a blue and gold macaw. So if you hear any squawks in the background, that's what it is.
I love it. I love it. Okay. So Scott, your turn. Who are you?
Good evening. My name is Scott Martz. I am the co-founder of Business Owners Trade Alliance. And we've been in business for about 11 years. But anyone that really gets to know me, I have a prior life of working in the food service industry. So I'm a college trained executive chef. So I absolutely love to cook. Maria loves to cook as well. I hate baking, so she covers that end of it. And she's a great baker. So we love to cook, and she blew the whistle on my macaw. So I love birds, and that is my second macaw actually throughout my entire life. So I think I've had a macaw over 20 years between the two of them. So I love birds, and I also love to shoot pool. I'm very into billiards. It's a fun game. My youngest son is learning to play. Maria has learned to play, and sometimes you're learning. So sometimes we blow off some steam and have some fun downstairs and shoot some pool.
Oh my gosh, Maria's hilarious. I love how she's just shaking her head like, please, no, I don't play anything.
Yes.
Don't acknowledge that.
That will never be my claim to fame, Tiffany. No matter how many years he helps me, tries.
Sorry, for some reason my mic was muted.
Yeah.
I am not the greatest at it. I I do like to play it every so often with family and friends and whatnot. For some reason, I ended up with like a really old pool stick. That's like one of my great uncles, whatever, when he used to do it professionally or something. I have no idea what it's about, what it is, but it stays in my closet nice and safe. But yeah, I mean, that's the closest to professional pool that I got to. That's about
That
it.
might be a really nice stick.
Oh, I wouldn't know the first thing about it, to be honest, but I'll have to show you one day to see if you what you think about it.
Yeah, when I was little, my grandfather gave me his stick, and I didn't, I was learning pool at that time, so I didn't realize it. But later on, as I continued to use it, people would say, "Wow, that's a nice stick," and I'd show it to them. They say, "Oh my God, that's a Mucci." And back then, that was a big name in cue sticks.
Oh, wow. It's crazy the things that we don't have any idea what we're holding on to until somebody else with more knowledge than us brings it up, and they're like, wait a minute, do you not understand what you got there? But I guess it's the whole like one man's treasure, one man's trash is somebody else's treasure kind of thing.
Yep.
Yeah. So, oh my gosh, let's talk barter. Okay, so I'm still new to this whole barter thing. I'm actually part of the barter group, which is a lot of fun, actually. And Maria and Scott have been amazing because I have been completely annoying, I know, with all the questions and emails that I've sent them trying to understand this process and what I'm supposed to do. But I'm so excited to have you guys here so that you can not only help educate me more, but also tell the viewers about it. So yes, tell us about this business, how it all works. Give us the whole spiel.
Would you like to go?
Sure, I'll start. We started the company in 2010. So we've been doing this quite a long time, but we didn't come up with the idea. There have been barter exchanges like ours, groups throughout the country and throughout the world that have engaged in barter in the sense that is a little bit different from what people are used to. Most business owners from time to time will meet someone where they need their service and the other person is also in need of whatever it is that they do. And they just decide to swap services or products. It's a cashless transaction, so everyone wins, everyone saves money. It's a beautiful thing when it works, but that's not always the case because each person has to want what the other one has. So in a barter company or a barter group like ours, the introduction of trade dollars or trade credits makes it possible for someone to take on business from any other member and then to use those trade credits with any other member of the group. And that, in terms of our company, is in Eastern and Central Pennsylvania. However, we're also part of a network that is actually throughout the entire country. So that opens someone up to doing business with over 75,000 businesses engaging in trade nationally and even worldwide, which is a cool thing for people who have remote services, advertising, products that they're looking to get to other markets, or that own vacation accommodations, whereby we can help people who are coming in from other areas to get them vacation accommodations on trade, or likewise, people in this area can go to Florida and California and all over the world using their trade dollars that they've earned locally. Sure. So that's I don't know if that's the short or the long explanation, but I'll let you add
your spin to it. I'm going to go the opposite way.
Go ahead.
So one of the most common misconceptions, Tiffany, of a barter company is that people think they're locked into a one-on-one trade, meaning if there's a plumber and a painter in the network and the painter wants to use plumbing services, they have to in kind turn around and use the painter's service. And that is not actually how it works. Every single member has an online trade account, which is very sophisticated, very similar to online banking with a couple of added features like a membership directory and profiles, and you can upload your logo into the system, so on and so forth. But the way it really works is everyone does their buying and selling from whoever they want, no matter who they do business with or who they buy from. You're never locked into a one-on-one type of situation. So if a client is a pest control company, for example, and they they have 15 different clients that they're performing pest control services for. The pest control company continually earns his regular cash prices in what we call trade dollars. The client then can turn around and spend those trade dollars with any other client in our network or through the national network, through the International Reciprocal Trade Association. And that is what Maria is talking about when she says you can sell or buy from 75,000 other businesses, because there's over 70 trade exchanges alone on our national platform. And as you probably know already, only a trade exchange owner can join the International Reciprocal Trade Association. So that part is not for the general public, but we cover all the fees for that, and that's a benefit to our members. But the key point is that you're never locked into a one-on-one type of situation. It opens you up to be able to, if you earn 10,000 in trade by selling your services, you could spend 1,000 on advertising. You could spend 1,000 on Facebook advertising. You could spend $1,000 on lawn care. You could spend $1,000 on a grill. You could spend $1,000 on some pickled products even. So it's a really nice system when the time arises where you don't want to spend cash and you find that there is something available in the system that you normally spend cash on. And since we started the company in 2010, right after the bust in 2008, when we started, we really went after signed up members, if you will, that had core business services, services that every business needs: advertising, print, payroll services, bookkeeping services, and all that stuff allows a business owner to be able to decrease their cash expenses by converting them to trade expenses. So it's a great system. We also, unlike banks, depending upon the client and the situation and the level of membership within our organization, we can offer interest-free trade dollar loans. So if a company is interested in getting a website, for example, and they just joined yesterday, they don't have any trade yet. However, if they were to qualify for a line of credit, we could give them a $5,000 interest-free line of credit, in which case they could buy their website first using trade instead of cash, and then they pay back that service by providing their services, or selling, if you will, their services to other members to pay back.
Okay. So it gets them started at least into the process of, figuring out how it actually works. Gets their feet wet in a sense. And then, it's interest free, like you said. So it's just a matter of paying it back and through selling their services within the system.
Correct.
Yeah. And
I think it's just genius, this process that it goes through, because like Maria mentioned earlier, it's cashless. I mean, I know Scott keeps saying $1,000 here, $1,000 there, but for anybody who's watching or listening, keep in mind that's barter money, not cash. So you're not putting a credit card to this. You're not, charging anything or paying cash for anything. This is, somebody has purchased through the trade services from you. You've accumulated that money. So let's say I am selling advertising, for example, and one of my packages is $500 and one person buys it. That means now my balance is $500 for me to turn around and use for services within the bartering system, right?
Correct. And you thought you didn't know how it worked.
Yep, you nailed it.
I'm still learning. I did successfully do one barter. I will say that I got my feet wet finally and bartered with someone, which is very exciting. I can't wait to debut the sign that I got. I got to put it up outside first before I do it. But I really love this idea because one, it's networking. It's not just, purchasing services or products from somebody and then, maybe going back to them for something or maybe not. You're absolutely networking with them, because then, they may have purchased your services through the barter system, but they may have friends who aren't in the barter system who need your services too. Now that is turning into a cash exchange where you're getting paid money for your services, but yet you still have the balance building up in the BOTA balance
Sure.
to
And a
use for services and whatnot. And I mean, there's even vacation opportunities, right? I think you mentioned that before.
Yeah. Yep. To your point, Tiffany, one of the biggest advantages, or one of the coolest things you can do in a barter company, which people don't realize, is that let's say that you put your annual expense for sales and marketing is $10,000 for a small company, let's say. And let's say you do all your advertising using trade dollars. So when you advertise, if you pay cash for that advertising, you're advertising to the entire market that you are targeting. And if you spend cash for that, you're going after cash. However, in our world, you could potentially convert that to a trade expense, spend 10,000 trade dollars on your advertising and marketing. And what are you doing? You're dumping trade dollars into an area in a business, which is advertising, which creates what? Cash business. So it works really, really well for not only getting trade business, but also getting cash business.
Yep.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, I remember a story, I think Maria was the one that told me a story about someone who needed a new roof or whatever, and they were able to use the BOTA, the trade funds that they've accumulated through selling of their services and whatnot, to get their new roof on their house, not having to pay a single dollar of, physical money like we're used to. They are simply using their digital money, I guess is the best way to call it, where, digital funds are being exchanged.
Trade dollars is the preferred term.
Okay. So trade dollars, and that's just mind blowing a little bit, because, you automatically think, oh gosh, I need a roof. How am I going to afford this? Where you pretty much have like this savings account per se of trade dollars accumulating just because you're helping people out with your services and whatnot, that can ultimately help you pay for those things that may come up in life. And a lot of things always come up. It's either the car or something with plumbing. There's always something that happens when you least expect it. And it's a really cool backup plan per se to have the trade dollars as a fallback in case you do need those types of services.
Sure. You are correct. As a matter of fact, one of our local restaurants.
That was the exact example I was going to give, Scott. It's so funny.
One of our local restaurants did need roofing and roof repair, and he was able to turn his food and beverage products in his restaurant into that roof. And he started out as a corporate member, so we gave him a $20,000 loan right off the bat. The roof was $17,000 trade dollars. That was the final bill. And then he turned around and sold us $17,000 worth of gift cards that we resell to our members that enjoy going to this particular restaurant.
And also they go to employees and friends. And obviously that's a great opportunity for something like a restaurant to gain that customer, bring them in through the door. And then after that, if they like it, they become a cash customer.
Yeah. Meaning that some of our larger clients, especially towards the holidays and even throughout the year for employee appreciation purposes, they'll buy up $5,000 or $6,000 worth of gift cards, and then they hand them out to employees, and those employees may not have ever been at the restaurant. So that restaurant is getting additional exposure using a gift card that was purchased on trade.
Wow. That's just taking word of mouth to a whole other level at that point. Because you're giving them the incentive to want to come back and take advantage of that gift card and whatnot. Oh, that's pretty genius. I'm not going to lie. I like that. So why did you guys essentially get started with trade? Like how did that become part of your lives?
Well, I'll answer that. I kind of gave you a little bit of the reason in terms of the fact that I had been a business owner. I had done barter. I found out about a barter company out in the Pacific Northwest, and I was pretty amazed by what they were doing. And the more I looked into it, the more that I realized that it was something that was really needed in this area, because there really wasn't anyone in Central PA that was doing what we do. So, that was really kind of where it started. The banks weren't loaning money to people. Businesses couldn't go to banks and get loans. So it was a way of kind of just pulling yourself up by your own bootstraps and saying, hey, how can we make this work? All of us together. We're all going to agree to engage in trade and help each other out. It's really a grassroots community type effort that we help people to engage in. And, it becomes really, truly like a big support structure and like a family. Yeah. So we love what we do. And Scott actually comes from a background of working in the business consulting world. So he has a great deal of knowledge about how to help businesses through a lot of different types of struggles. And of course, restaurants being one of, the obvious because of his background working in food service and being an executive chef and running restaurants and so forth. So we kind of really complement one another as far as our skills are concerned.
It's a good team there. All right. So I'm going to take a quick break so I can play my nice little commercial here for my awesome sponsor. And when I come back, I really would love to just get the details from you guys on how people can get signed up, involved, what it takes, and all of that jazz. So I will be right back.
Are you tired of missed business opportunities because you don't have the marketing tools that big companies do? Do you want to generate more sales with less effort or technical knowledge? Text for More is a digital marketing solution that is both your digital brochure and web presence that connects you directly to your customers. Best of all, Text for More is proven to deliver results. In fact, some of our clients have seen their monthly revenue increase by as much as 5 times in the first couple of months. To get started today, text the keyword MORE to 317-342-8114 and see how we can assist you. Text for More. Next generation brochures for the digital age.
So I had a comment come through from Maccabee, who happens to be a part of the barter group. See, faces. And then my sponsor, Text for More, Ryan, is in the group too. I actually wouldn't have
Mr. Swadley.
Yes. So I would have never been able to meet either one of them had it not been for the barter group. So thank you. Maccabee loves torturing me live, putting up comments galore. See, look, who is that voiceover by? They sound so professional. By the way, the voiceover is done by Maccabee Griffin there, people. So if you'd like to learn more, definitely reach out to him. That's my brother from another mother right there. We are twins.
You guys are awesome.
Oh gosh. But yes, so I wanted to really take this last question to focus on how people can get involved. What is the typical process? Do they reach out and just schedule an appointment with you guys? What all takes place?
Sure. It's very, very simple. The numbers that are coming across the bottom of the screen, as well as the email, is a great way to reach out and say, hey, I'd like to learn more. But the typical process is that we do a simple Zoom call and we have a presentation that we go through, which takes about 30 minutes, gives the client a good understanding of how it works. And it also gives us a great opportunity in that process because we have slides about it. But we really want to understand what they're looking to gain, what their business is, what their services are, what they want to promote. Because one of the most important things we have to do as a barter company is send people business. So we need to really understand that client. So what we do is go through that slide process so that they fully understand how the process works. We explain in great detail the difference between private trade and working with a professional organized barter company. We also go into how IRTA works and working with other trade exchanges across the country, i.e. travel, purchasing things from businesses outside of our network. And at the end of the presentation, the client gets to ask us all the questions they need to ask. Typically, that is, how does it work with taxes? And we have that answer ready to roll. But then at the end of the process, if they decide to join, we have 3 levels of membership for every budget out there, from a small one-man band to a corporate membership, which is less than $1,000. And a basic membership is only a couple of $100 to get started, and it's a one-time fee. It's not annual. And then we go into how fees work and how statements work and how their online trade account works, which is very simple similar to online banking.
Okay.
So at the end of the presentation, they have the option to join or think about it or do whatever. Most times when we have a good match, a client decides to come on board. As long as they have a great service, a good price, and they're a reputable company, we're happy to have them.
Yep.
I will tell you from experience, there is no like making you feel guilty to join right that very minute. They are absolutely aware that there are certain situations that people have to think about it. Their money may be an issue, whatever the situation may be, they are willing to work with you, and just they'll check up on you every so often just to make sure you're still interested and whatnot, but never really try to force you to join, because that's not what their incentive is here. That's not what they're looking for. They're looking for people who are interested, but they don't want to force you into something that you may not be interested in.
Correct.
That's really great.
We've been doing it long enough, Tiffany, to understand, and we know it really has to be a partnership. It has to be a relationship.
Yes.
And you can't force someone into that. And we're very open-ended. We go through the pricing structure. We're an open book. We can give them client examples. We can show them examples of email blasts that we do and how we communicate to the entire group. We go through a couple posting verifications so they can see how that works. I mean, we don't have any secrets. It's all right there. And at the end, again, if they choose to join, that's fabulous. And if not, that's okay too.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
And I did want to throw something in, because
Yes.
when we talk about having a sophisticated system and a directory and all the bells and whistles, which are all there, what someone also has to realize is that we're also there for people who are working hard all day long, like cleaning houses, giving massages, and they literally don't have time to do anything but text, $150 cleaning for so-and-so. And all I say is, thanks, got it, put the transaction in, and they just keep on racking up trade dollars that they can turn around and spend for all the stuff that they need for their business. So it does not have to be someone that's very tech savvy.
It's not a very tough process at all. I mean, the only thing you're doing as a BOTA member really is, one, you're reaching out to us because you need a banner, and we're going to send you to someone in the group that can provide that banner. The other thing you're doing is we're calling you with a client saying, hey, this is the situation. This is what he's looking for. Do you want to quote it? Do you want to take a look at it? Should I make an introduction? And, that's getting another BOTA member business, which is also our job. So it's really just 2 things. The only other thing involved is looking at your statement at the end of the month. And that's kind of how the process works. Everybody does their buying and selling throughout the entire month. At the end of the month, on the 1st, we send out a statement, and everybody has a chance to look at all their transactions to make sure that they're correct. And then following the statement, we do our normal billing.
Awesome. Yeah. All right. So if you are just catching us, you missed a lot of amazing information. Putting that out there.
And the one thing I might not have mentioned, which I really did want to mention, our levels of membership are very simple. It's $295, $495, and $695. But the most important thing you have to understand about the sign-up fee is that it is not annual. It is a one-time fee that makes you a member for life.
Yes.
Yep. And I wanted to just add really quickly about COVID, because I know that that was one of the things that got you started doing what you do,
Yes.
Tiffany. And, you know, we started this company during tough times. 2008 and 2009 really put a huge dent in a lot of businesses, closed people down, and they were looking for answers. And the same thing kind of occurred for us with COVID. Is um, we kind of expected it, but we were surprised at how open people were to looking at different things that they could do to save money, to keep themselves afloat, and you know, to have some support in their business. So believe it or not, for us it was actually a growth year, because there were people kind of waking up to, hey, this is a whole new world. We have to think of out of the box ways that we can continue to operate and be successful and prosperous.
Yes.
Oh, and you know, correct me if I'm wrong, but the fee that is paid each month to continue on as a member, as long as you have a balance on your trade dollars, that's where it initially gets taken out of.
Correct. There's a $15 fee, cash and trade, per month to maintain your account in good standing, and that's the cost to help us cover the cost for sending out statements and
Leasing software.
leasing
Yes.
software. Barter. There's only a couple of companies in the world that make barter software because it is so expensive. So that's one of our biggest expenses in our business. So we do take $15 cash and $15 trade, but we dump the trade that we earn back into our summer and our end of year event, which is a holiday trade show where
Yes.
this year, thank goodness, because COVID was not around, we were able to have it at the same location we had prior to the situation with COVID. We had to do it virtually in 2020. So this time, just in, what was it, December 1st?
Yep, December 1st, Good Life Financial Group, one of our members' buildings, beautiful venue. We had almost 40 vendors, and
Wow.
At
a
100.
pretty fabulous affair. It's always like chocolate fountains and seafood and catering, and all kinds of fabulous, cool stuff. We make it fun.
Yeah, the point being is we pay for it all. We pay for the catering, we pay
Yes.
for the party rentals, we pay for everything it takes to put together a great, we want to say holiday trade show, but it's really like a big giant Christmas party where everybody gets together and we have 3-part checks and everybody buys and sells, and it's a really
And networks.
it's a really good time. And it is networking. It's also buying and selling, and we also have quite a few groups in our network, meaning BOTA, Business Owners Trade Alliance, that offer networking groups that they carry out either on a monthly basis or twice a month, and you can pay using trade to be part of those networking groups. So it decreases
that's cool.
decreases costs. You know, if anybody has a line item called association fees, like the chamber and so on and so forth, that's another cash to trade conversion, which is really nice.
I just think it's such an opener of so many opportunities for businesses, things that people wouldn't think they'd be able to afford on a regular basis, because typically when they do cash for services or whatnot, that cash is going directly into their business or bills or whatnot, and just to stay afloat. But with the BOTA situation, that's money they don't have to technically really think about. That money that they're accruing and the trade dollars is something they can keep as like a savings account of sorts, so that if they need something, if they need new business cards, if they need to do a banner like you mentioned, what have you, then they have the funds there. They don't have to worry about, how am I going to afford this? They have it already waiting for them to use. And that's got to be such a stress reliever for so many businesses that are on such a tight budget as it is with their situation and their business.
Yep.
Sure, absolutely.
Yep. And I will say one thing. The list of products and services that you can trade for, because we've been doing this for 11 years and we're the largest barter company in Eastern PA, is crazy. So that's the one thing I say is just don't dismiss it until you see the stuff you can trade for, because it's pretty unbelievable. So anyway.
And it's everything from your $70 massage all the way to our most recent larger transaction was a roof project at 44,000 trade dollars, which was
Oh my
a huge
goodness.
savings for that client.
Wow. That is a lot of money, but it must have been so good for them to feel like, oh, I don't have to worry about how I'm going to get the money for this. I've got trade dollars for that. Woo!
Yeah. And
Oh,
since,
man.
and since the relief of COVID, I know we're going through another spurt here of it, but a lot of business owners are still moving forward, and we've seen a huge uptick in advertising. And that is one of the best things that you can invest in using trade dollars, because you truly are converting trade to cash business. You just can't beat it. And advertising,
Well, I know
sometimes
I
is
have to
kind
get
of
with
like a
you
roulette
guys
wheel.
because I have a whole bunch of new stuff going on now to update my account and whatever. But I want to thank you both for being here, taking the time to really break down what BOTA is all about, how it can benefit so many people and all sizes of businesses. Let me be real here. You could have the smallest business, like she mentioned. Maria mentioned someone who cleans houses on a daily basis and whatnot. She's probably just working for herself, going from house to house, doing her small business. And yet she's able to take advantage of BOTA to build up her business and be able to afford the things she needs for it. I'm telling you, you have to look into this as an opportunity for your business if you're looking to have a way to afford the services and products that you need to help you expand and grow, because ultimately that's what every business is looking for. So thank you guys for being such an amazing tool for those businesses to do that exact thing.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us, Tiffany. We appreciate it.
Yeah. And thank you. Thank you.
You're a popular lady. I think I signed up like, I don't know when, but I was like, woo, I am so glad to get in the pipeline. Awesome.
I know. Time slots fill up really quick, but I'm very blessed, very grateful that people trust me with their businesses, and just looking forward to doing it for as long as they'll continue to do so. I just interviewed last week my first business from Australia.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
How crazy is that? I love the idea of having different countries involved too, because then it shows, there's small businesses no matter where you go. So, as always, I always love to end the episode with a friendly reminder to put your community first. We do that by shopping small and supporting local businesses. Thank you, everyone. Have a good night, and we will see you next time.
Thank you, Tiffany.